Hey, everybody, welcome back to this week's episode of Savvy Marketing for Small Business. I'm your host, Samantha Shepard. And for those of you that are not watching the video portion of this podcast on YouTube, I am sitting here on a Sunday evening in a t-shirt, somewhat messy hair, while the rest of my family naps and preps for the week because this is a huge part of today's topic. What is your story? And why is your authentic story so powerful when it comes to marketing your business? Because this is a part of my story. I am a mom first, I am a wife, I'm a business owner, and that does not mean that I'm always in perfectly coiffed jackets. I'm currently wearing leggings and I'm barefoot while my dog takes a nap under my desk. This is one of the things, guys, that I think we need to get back to is learning how to be authentic and share our story when it comes to sharing our business. So today I want to talk to you about something that I honestly think most business owners, they really, really overcomplicate. And honestly, it might be something that you possibly are avoiding in your marketing because maybe you don't feel like you're showing up perfectly on whatever day it might be. Maybe you feel like you have to do certain things until everything is perfect. But listen, your story is one of the most powerful things that will influence the success or lack thereof in your business. Not the perfectly curated version of yourself. I'm sitting here in leggings and a t-shirt, okay? Not your everything is amazing. I have everything figured out kind of version, okay? I'm talking about your real story, the messy middle, the lessons, the struggles, the reasons why you do what you do. Because here's the truth, people connect with people, they don't want to connect with a bot. Okay. These polished robots, these fake AI photos that you're seeing out all over social media right now, they sound like they're written by somebody else, and in a world that's very, very AI driven right now, human connection is quickly becoming the real marketing advantage. I mean, I'm sitting here with crazy 2-day hair and a t-shirt, okay? Listen, your story is not extra. It's not fluff. It's not, something you need to avoid. Your story is the strategy. Your story is how you start creating that real connection with people, specifically when you're meeting them through a screen. So today, what I want to do is I want to break down why stories work so well when it comes to marketing your business, why people buy connection before they buy your services, how to use your story without oversharing so you're not feeling like you're pouring your whole life out on Facebook, okay? And how your story builds trust, authority, and really opens the door for those conversions and sales, okay? So let's go ahead and dive right in. You see, your story is actually going to create connection much, much faster than details or information. And that's what most people do online. Okay. They share tip after tip after tip. 5 how-tos on making this your best strategy ever. 3 ways to lose weight. 5 tips to get more clients. There's the checklist. There's the algorithm update. There's the fill in the blank of all of the other tips that are valuable. Okay. But here's the thing. Educational content does matter, but information alone is not going to create that emotional connection with people. Stories do. Your story does. Because stories help people see themselves in you. Because when someone hears, I struggled with this too. If someone hears, I used to feel overwhelmed too. If someone hears, I understand where you are because I was there, it immediately lowers that wall of restriction and hesitation for them being hesitant to working with you. This is why storytelling is one of the most powerful trust building tools in the marketplace when it comes to marketing your business. And people don't just want you to tell them solutions all the time. They want to work with someone who gets it. They want to work with someone who understands them at a deeper level. Okay. Your story actually gives meaning to what you sell. Okay. And this is really, really huge. Your audience is not just buying your service. Okay, let's repeat that. Your audience is not just buying your service or your product. They are buying your perspective, your authenticity, your experience, your approach, your values, and yeah, your personality. I mean, I've been told I'm a lot to handle by a lot of people. I'm loud, I talk with my hands a lot, I drink a lot of coffee, love the color pink, and I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And guess what? That is okay. But your story, your personality, okay? That's what honestly explains why you care about what you do and how you're going to make an impact on so many people. So, for example, take me. There's thousands and thousands of marketing consultants online. Okay. Thousands. Okay. And if you looked into Google and YouTube and just all the social media, just type in the word marketing, you're going to have a never ending feed, right? But nobody has my story, just like nobody has your story. Nobody has your experiences, your life lessons, your personality, your humor, your perspective. Nobody has your life. This is what separates you from everybody else who does what you do in the world. Your story gives depth. It gives that realness that you can't get through some AI generated coiffed story of what you think people want to have. Because honestly, without your story, your content sounds like everybody else. Send me a DM for more details. Drop this word keyword below for the info. Now, don't get me wrong, I use those call to actions myself too sometimes, right? But more often than not, I want to use a call to action that's an open-ended question where I can start a conversation with somebody. I want their opinions, I want their thoughts, right? I want their feedback. That kind of open-ended opportunity to talk to someone is going to make a huge difference because people will honestly remember the stories you tell them more than the facts you share. My husband always says this. He's been in business over 20 years. You know, facts tell, but stories sell. And I want you to really, really think about this. You probably don't remember the 47th Canva tip somebody gave you, right? You probably don't even remember what I shared on social media last Tuesday. Okay. But you do remember the story of the business owner telling you how they struggled before they came into their big break. You do remember someone telling you about how they lost a client and what they learned from it. You remember the mom who built a business during nap time. Okay. You remember the entrepreneur that shared their story about how they almost quit, or someone who overcame a difficulty. Why? Because these stories create emotion, and emotion creates memory. And those memorable things, especially in your marketing, that's where it becomes effective. That's where you become a real person, not just one other person who does fill in the blank. Okay. Remember, facts tell, stories sell every single day of the week. Now, your story makes you relatable. Okay. In today's digital age, we're talking through a screen, whether you're listening to this on Apple Podcast or Spotify, or you're watching this on YouTube. Okay. You're not the only one out there who does what you do. So what makes you different is you have to be relatable to people. They have to, if they're listening to you or watching you through a screen, they have to feel connected with you. People are so tired of perfect. Hence why I'm showing up today in 2-day-old hair, a t-shirt, and yoga pants. Okay. Nope, there people are so over the perfectly polished marketing and the fake energy and the AI photos. And I've made $1 million, drinking water with a squirt of lemon in it. Okay. Guys, people don't want that anymore. They want real. They want you. And relatable content builds trust faster than anything perfect ever will. Okay. I mean, honestly, when you think about it, how many times have you not posted something or not shared something or typed something out and hit the delete button because you weren't sure if anybody cared? And I'm telling you that they do. Sometimes the most powerful thing that you can say is honestly, this was hard for me too. Okay. Guys, and listen, there's a big difference between sharing your entire life story online than sharing who you are and how your story has become, how you become who you are through your story. Okay. We've all seen those posts online where it's just major TMI. Like nobody needs to post that kind of stuff. Okay. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the things in the part of your story that make you you. I'm not talking about sharing the intimate personal details of your entire life. Okay. But when someone says in a post or in a video or a podcast, I get it. I was there too. It wasn't always easy for me too, but here's what I learned. And now I love being able to help other people overcome those same obstacles. Guys, that shares instant connection and instant relatability. Your audience does not want to learn from another perfect expert. Why? Because a lot of times that's intimidating and it can be overwhelming for people and sometimes paralyzing because they think, oh, if that person appears to be, whether it's the truth or not, that person seems to be perfect. I'll never be like that. I'm too embarrassed to talk to them. I'll wait till I get my crap together and then I'll reach out to them, right? People, they need to feel understood, seen, and heard, but they also need to feel hopeful. And us sharing our story through our marketing also helps really, really connect that. I want you to stop thinking your story is too small. This one, man, this is a big part of this. I hear this all the time. But Samantha, my story isn't dramatic enough. It's not good enough. It's not over the top enough. Okay, listen, seriously. Your audience doesn't need the Hollywood version of your life. They don't need the Hollywood version of Grey's Anatomy trauma to feel connected with you. Sometimes the most relatable ones are the simple ones. I mean, how many of you listening or watching to this right now are in a t-shirt? Maybe you're in a messy bun. Maybe you're in slippers or flip-flops and you're, driving your kid to volleyball practice, or you're in the middle of making dinner, or you're in the car going from appointment to practice, right? I mean, honestly, at the time I'm recording this, it is a Sunday evening. We just finished a 2-day tournament for my daughter for her volleyball season. My oldest daughter just made us a sourdough gluten-free pizza in the kitchen, and my husband is taking a nap on the couch watching golf. I mean, that's my situation. That's why I didn't go upstairs and get my hair all done and fix my makeup and put on a fancy shirt. I just wanted to be real because that's what today's episode's about. Okay. The real life moments. Okay. This is how people learn confidence. This is how they start scared. This is how they juggle motherhood and business and how to handle feeling overwhelmed and lessons we learn along the way, the good and the bad. This is what people connect with. Please never think that your story is too small or that it doesn't matter or people don't want to hear it, because they do. And it does make a difference. Your story becomes powerful when it helps someone feel less alone. And in today's digital world where so many people, sit behind a keyboard all day, it can be easy to feel alone. But when you share your story, you're letting someone feel like they're not by themselves. And the best stories, honestly, in marketing, they're not really about you. Okay. And this is really, really important. I would love for you to take away from today's episode. Your story should not end with, and then I became amazing and everything worked out great. The end. Okay. Good storytelling always connects back to the audience. Okay. Your story should help your listeners or your readers learn something, feel encouraged, feel understood, gain clarity, and see possibility. That's the power of telling stories, right? I mean, the best movies that end with, and that was it. Nobody wants to see a movie like that, right? The best movies have a story and make the audience feel connected to the actors and the plot line, right? The purpose of storytelling is transformation. You're showing people, if I can overcome this, if I can learn this, if I can simplify this, you can too. It's that moment of encouragement, okay? That creates the movement. It creates that trust. So as I wrap up this episode today, I want to talk about 3 easy ways that you can actually start using storytelling in your content, specifically marketing your business. Because I want to be practical, right? I like being actionable. I like learning something, but I also like know, okay, what am I supposed to do next? Okay. So here are some really, really simple ways to use storytelling in your content. Number one, share a lesson behind the moment. Don't just post, I had a busy day today. Instead, say something like, today reminded me why having a system in business matters. There's meaning behind that. Okay. Everybody's busy, but okay, well, what helped you manage all that busyness, right? A second idea would be this: share before and after thinking. Okay. Talk about, what I used to believe, what changed, what you know now. Here's where I was, here's what I did, here's what I thought, here's what I experienced in the middle of that transformation or change. And here's what I found. Here's where I came out of. Here was the end result. Okay. It's really, really powerful to show people before and afters in stories. A third example, I'm just kidding. I actually have more than three. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I have more than three. Um, a third way to use storytelling in your marketing is I want you to use everyday moments, not moments when you're only in your office and you're only in the perfect backdrop. Okay. Guys, some of our best content, honestly, happens way outside the office. It's sitting in a coffee shop. I was at a volleyball tournament and took a bunch of notes this weekend while I was having balls and whistles fly all over the place, right? Um, the normal life when you're picking your kid up. Okay. When you're meeting with a client, when you have a really, really great success, or maybe you just lost a client. All right. So our best content comes, a lot of my best content, side note, always comes when I'm drinking coffee or making coffee or waiting for coffee. It's kind of like my Zen place, right? Whatever yours might be. But your marketing doesn't always have to look like a freaking TED Talk. Okay. I mean, sometimes, I mean, TED Talks are amazing, but they can be intimidating. But sometimes snap a video, grab your phone. Okay. Share a story, type an idea. A lot of times people think, well, when I get to my office and my hair is perfectly done and I have on the right outfit, then I'll record, then I'll type. Guys, your best moments come in the moments of your real life. And number four, I did actually have four ideas for you. And four is I want you to share why behind your business. Why did you start it? Why do you care? Why do you do what you do? Why does it matter? Okay. Your passion honestly is magnetic and it really, really helps build momentum when it comes to trusting people. Listen, storytelling your story will build trust faster than just selling, selling, selling. And this is for in-person or digital strategies. Okay. Probably one of the biggest mindsets that I really want you to understand today. This shift where storytelling is marketing, it's not separate from marketing. It's a massive development of your marketing, okay? Because honestly, your stories, they build trust, they build relatability, they build that connection, and they really build the authority of who you are and what you do very naturally. I mean, and trust, when you have that with someone, it shortens the sales cycle, okay? If you met with someone at a networking group once a month and you only ever saw them or talked to them once a month, how long is it going to take you to actually build a strong relationship with that person? How long is it going to take for you to trust them and them to trust you? And it's probably a long time, right? That is the beauty of social media. You can shorten that time cycle and build trust with someone so incredibly fast by showing up, being yourself, engaging with others, sharing your story, being real, right? That repetition creates recognition, and that recognition is what builds trust. And people want to buy and give money to people that they trust, okay? Because they buy faster from people they feel connected to. And if you're not sharing your story, or if you're sharing a story that's not yours, or if you're sharing a story that it's only a story because you think it's what people want to hear from you, people can feel that, right? But I will honestly tell you, I want to say this again, people will buy faster from those they feel connected to, and people connect with stories. That's why somebody with like a smaller audience online, for example, can build really, really strong connection and have a higher, faster, successful business than someone that has a million followers because they know the art of connection. And I'm telling you guys, the art of connection is not some, 10-step course you have to take. It's sharing your story and being real with the people who are watching, listening to, and reading what you're saying. And last note, your story is the thing AI cannot replace. It can't, honestly. In today's society, that matters more than ever. In the last 2 weeks, I've attended a couple different classes and a virtual conference, and that was one of the biggest resounding repetitive things they said is that in today's world, people, guys, we can pick up if a photo isn't real. I mean, they don't really look that good, but we can tell if it's not real. We can tell if a bot wrote something. We can tell if a bot wrote a post that we're reading. It isn't AI is not a replacement of your personality. It's not a replacement of the human. And unfortunately, a lot of people are trying to use it that way. I think AI is an incredible tool. I use it every day in different parts of my business, but never as a replacement for me, my voice, my experience, or my story. AI can help you with structure, ideas, organization, efficiency. But guys, it's not going to replace your perspective, your personality, your experiences, your voice, and it's certainly not going to replace your heart. That's your competitive advantage. Don't hide that. Don't ignore that. Okay. The businesses that are winning moving forward are the ones that actually sound the least robotic. Okay. They're the ones that sound the most human. So if you take one thing from this episode, it's this. I want you to know that your story is not something to hide. It is probably the most powerful marketing tool you have in your belt right now. And I would venture to guess many of you listening to this are probably not using it yet. Because remember, your story is going to what creates that connection, that trust, that relatability, that authority. But more importantly, it's that connection you get with someone through a screen. No strategy works long term ever without connection. Okay. So stop waiting until everything looks perfect. Okay. I want you to start sharing your lessons, your memories, your experiences, your perspective. Your perspective is different than everybody else, even if there's 1,000 people who do exactly what you do, because there's somebody out there waiting to hear the exact thing that you have to share. They're waiting for you to share the exact thing that you might think is too small. They're waiting for you to share and say, no, that matters too. And that might be the exact thing that someone needs to hear to finally get them to trust you or someone like you to take action to work with you. All right. So, as we wrap up in this episode, I hope it hit home for you. I hope that you share it on social media. Tag me if you do. I'd love to cheer you on. If you do, write a post or do a story or something with your story in it. Please tag me, send it to me. I want to read it. I want to support you. And I also want to be your biggest cheerleader because your story really makes a huge difference. And a lot of people, they come to me and they say, well, Sam, I'm stuck. I don't know how to start. So if you're kind of in that, if you're in that space and you're like, okay, I get it. I have to share my story, but I don't even know who I'm supposed to talk to. I don't know where to start with my marketing. But you want to be that real life human. That's where I want to talk to you about the profit marketing framework. It is a 4-step, simple, strategic, and repeatable framework that can be adopted to any business industry. Okay. And I'm coming up with a master class very soon where it's going to be one of those master classes where I'm going to literally walk you through how to create your story. Okay. And knowing who to talk to. I'm going to help you walk through how to make a system work for you instead of feeling you're working for it. All right. It's going to talk to you and teach you how to attract the right people, how to nurture those relationships through that storytelling connection, and how to convert those people into customers without sounding like some salesy weirdo and every other awkward business online. Okay. Remember, everything that I ever teach will always come from a place of simplicity and authenticity because I've done it. I've been in business for over 20 years. I have made all the mistakes plus some. Okay. And my job and my passion is to help you avoid those mistakes so that you can reach your goals a lot faster, whether those are business goals, personal goals, whatever that might be. Okay. I want you to know that you're in the middle of writing your story and people need to hear it. The next time, can't wait to talk to you guys again. Remember, keep it savvy, keep it simple, and keep it smart. I'll see you in the next episode.